15-77 State versus Tiffani Miguel, possession of controlled substances and drug paraphernalia, exposing a child to a chemical substance.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
There is an offer from the state. We're not prepared to accept this time, Your Honor.
Okay.
She's set for trial in September. If you could have her reappear, I guess, on your next court date before that trial setting.
When is the trial, sir?
September 8th.
She will appear on September 3rd,
September
10
3rd.
o'clock.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. 15-22 State versus John Lewis, possession of methamphetamine, drug paraphernalia, driving on suspended, disorderly conduct. And thank you. 15-62, similar charges.
Your Honor, Mr. Lewis is represented by the Public Defender's Office. Your Honor, we're either going to have a plea in Mr. Lewis's case today. He was picked up on a failure to appear. That's why he's on your docket today. Either a plea later today, or I would ask that he be ordered to reappear next week if we don't have the plea worked out.
Recall the case.
Thank you, Judge.
11-257 State versus Russell Young, theft of property.
Your Honor, Mr. Young's been in the Department of Corrections in Missouri. We just recently got him back this week. I have met with him a couple times. I'm hopeful we'll be able to come up with a resolution rather quickly to this case.
Okay.
If I could have him reappear the next time the court's going to be here.
September 3rd. Eduardo Lopez, 15-243. Failure to register.
Your Honor, Mr. Lopez has not filled out an application yet, but I spoke with his wife this morning, and I've represented him in the past, and I know that he will qualify. So, with that being the case, I will enter a plea of not guilty for him today. We would ask that the court let us be heard on bond. I'm not sure what it is right now, but obviously he can't make it.
It's $2,500.
Judge, Mr. Lopez is a longtime resident of the area. I think the failure to register allegation is just that he didn't report to the Sheriff's Department. He has this offense, I believe the conviction was 15 to 20 years old, Your Honor. He has lived in Mountain Home in the same location for the past year. His wife appears here today. I've spoken with her this morning and indicates that he is obviously willing to come home and to continue to reside there and to get into compliance if he can get out on bond. He's not a flight risk. He's, like I said, I represented him in district court last year. He's never missed a court date to my knowledge. We'd ask that he be released to his family on his own recognizance, Judge, during the pendency of this matter.
Judge, this gentleman is a level 2 sex offender. He has been living in the same place since 2014. According to the affidavit, he was scheduled to appear on August the 4th. He did not appear. He was called a week later and advised to come in. August 17th, approximately 13 days later, we issued a warrant for his arrest. That's what I know about this gentleman. The only thing I can tell you is a $2,500 bond is a very low bond, and at some point, it's got to become important to this gentleman to comply. He basically has to walk into the city police station twice a year. He doesn't want to do that. We're going to have to. We got to do something to get his attention. The truth is that it is my custom. If you would pass this, instead of a bond, I think there's a way that Mr. Bailey and I can resolve this.
I'll call it later.
That'd be great. Thank you very much.
Dale Martin, 7-195, non-support. It's the allegation.
Your Honor, it's my understanding he was interviewed for drug court. However, he had a detainer in Missouri that is keeping him from being accepted. We wanted to attempt to address bond today so that he could resolve that issue so he would become eligible for the drug court program. It is a child support revocation that's before the court. And what I was going to propose was a $1,000 cash bond on the revocation case and a $10,000 cash, or excuse me, not cash, surety bond on the case that's in front of Judge Webb's court that they're looking at, the drug court case.
Your Honor, if you call this back, I want to address the court accurately with respect to this gentleman failing to appear in this court. And I'm going to have to gather some information for that. I
Very
know
well.
they're out there, I just don't want to misspeak.
We'll take up your case later. 15-153, State versus Charles Campbell, sexual assault in the first degree.
Your Honor, Mr. Campbell's here. The state has recently provided discovery. I'd ask that there's no action be taken today. There are no pretrial motions. I just asked that he remain on the current scheduling order. He's set to appear on October 1st.
Very well. State versus Tabitha Northern, 15-189, methamphetamine or controlled substances at any rate. Paraphernalia.
Your Honor, there's no pretrial motions to be heard on today's date.
Okay.
We can leave it as scheduled.
15-169, State versus Christopher Knapp, possession of methamphetamine, other controlled substances, paraphernalia, DWI. Leave it as scheduled. Michael Willis.
Yes, sir.
It's a drug case. And we're here for pretrial in this matter also.
Judge, you find an application I remember Mr. Willis, I just don't remember.
Yes, he's been approved,
What date was that?
that he was approved.
Yes, sir.
It's like May 28th.
Okay. Ms. Russo is going to look for the file, Your Honor, if we could recall that.
Very well, we'll
Speak
call
with
your
them
case
later.
later. State versus Kristen Shelter, 15-141, breaking or entering, theft of property.
Your Honor, I represent Kristen. We're plugging along. There's no action to take today for pretrial.
We'll just leave it as scheduled.
Okay. Ready to go. 15-131, State versus Dale Blair, drug paraphernalia, marijuana.
Your Honor, there's no action to take today, Mr. Blair's matter. I do need to ask him to come see me so we can talk about his case, Judge.
Can the court tell me when this gentleman's revocation hearing is?
This appears, what I'm looking at, 15-131 appears to be a newer case. It's not a revocation.
Judge, there was a petition to revoke this man's sentence in May of 2015. Not,
And
we should have already had a hearing on that.
well, I don't see it in the stack. We can check on it
I'll
at
check it
break.
at the break.
Okay.
It looks like it.
Stay with us, sir. Don't leave.
Okay. Mr. Cooper, I think, I'll just have to see.